last for long. Wait a minute. You ain't heard nothing yet. You ain't heard nothing yet. You know, folks, I last sang that song, it must have been 5 or 6 weeks ago now. September the something or other, 1950. I was entertaining the boys out in Korea. I've been back home just a few days. When over a game of cards, I had a heart attack. Before I knew it, I was dead. It was a big shock to everybody, especially me. But they've been pretty good to me around here. They even let me go back to see my own funeral. The trouble now is, I've not seen anybody around here since I got back. Oh, I can fill the time, okay? I sang Swanee twice. You Made Me Love You 3 times. And the one you just heard. That's my favorite.
Mr. Jolson. You're in need of an audience, I see.
What if I am? There ain't nobody else to pass the time of day with around here.
Well, that's all over. In fact, there's somebody outside waiting to see you right now.
See me? Well, I'm sorry I just snapped, Mr.
Well, beloved.
Yes, of course. We met a short while back. You'll have to forgive me. It was my funeral yesterday, and I only just got back.
Mr. Jolson, your funeral wasn't yesterday. Your funeral, to your way of reckoning, was 47 years, 6 months, and 19 days ago.
Are you some kind of nut? You trying to give me a bad time?
Time. That's why you're confused. Mr. Jolson, there is no time here. It has no meaning.
I get the picture. You better reacquaint me with whoever you got lined up out there.
Of course. Mr.
Jolson. Sinatra! Get me out of here!
Gentlemen, I had hoped for much more civilized greeting.
Yeah? Well, you ain't gonna get it, pal. Say, where's all my friends? Where's Dean and Sammy and JFK?
Stop whinging, will you? I don't go around saying, where are all my friends?
Your friends? Why, everyone close to you could be fitted in a broom closet. Downsize.
Okay, I admit it. And everybody close to you would need a much bigger room in Alcatraz.
Why?
The meeting of two egos.
How does a lonely soul pass his time in this jungle?
There's only one thing this lonely soul could do. I've been singing.
Without an audience.
Somehow it doesn't feel like that. Somehow it feels like being alive again. Maestro, give this man his song.
Before I begin, because I've got you under my skin, and you grab me under my skin.
Smile, Swanee, Mammy, Mammy. I love the old folks at home. Swanee. How I love you, my dear old Swanee. I'd give the world to be among the folks in DIX. I even know my mammy's waiting for me, praying for me down by the Swanee. The folks up north will see me no more when I get to that Swanee shore.
We are going on a trip. We're going to find out what kind of men you were. Come along, Al. You first. Let's start at the beginning. Well, almost. It's 1894, and you're sailing from Russia to a new life in the land of the free. Come along, Frank. After all, it was much easier for you. No thin chicken soup in your household. Dolly and Marty Sinatra wanted nothing but the best for their only son.
Hey, Bochum was no Las Vegas. And my folks were always straightening me out. After that, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to
Sing.
I left home and caught the ferry.
I left home and took the train.
That, gentlemen, if you excuse the cliches, is where your stories really begin.
The going was tough. Nobody wanted to know.
That's right. I don't know about Mr. Sinatra here, but soon I was dealing with characters who would have the gold fillings out your teeth while
you were chewing gum.
It was no picnic. I even tried a double act.
I say. Now tell me, my friend, what makes oil boil?
I don't know, What makes oil boil?
Well, let it be.
It didn't last too long. Following day, I did the rounds. I got myself an agent. He was good. He was very good. He straightened me out, tidied me up. Very soon, I was in the musical theater. Yesterday, I heard a lover sigh. Goodbye, oh me, oh my. 7 times he got aboard his train. And 7 times he hurried back to kiss his love again and tell her, tut-tut-tut-see, goodbye. Tut-tut-tut-see, don't cry. That choo-choo train that takes me away from you. No words can say how sad it makes me. Get me tutty and then do it over again. Watch for the mail.
Congratulations, Al. By 1911, you were a success. And with music and record sales, a phenomenon. Frank, you weren't even born in 1911.
No way. Finally, I got noticed and went straight to the top with the Harry James Band. That's why the lady, that's why the lady, that's why the lady is a tramp. She's a tramp. So, now I had it all. A name, a voice, and a solo career.
Strange how those sophisticated New Yorkers always wanted to hear you singing about the South, even though the greenest thing they'd ever seen was a glass of creme de menthe.
I suppose so.
And give us a reminder, Al.
Joe, just as though you had me on your knee. A million baby kisses I'll deliver the minute that you sing that Swanee River. Rockabye, your rockabye, baby, with that Dixie melody.
Nelson, you and me have both ridden the crest of a mighty big wave.
Yeah, ain't we just?
Gentlemen, have you forgotten? While you were off meeting presents, there were others you'd left behind. Others longing to see you.
Henrietta, my first wife.
We were married for 13 years. He loved his life. Singing, touring, playing poker, visiting the racetracks. He was surprised when I left him. But I found something else. The bottom of a bottle.
You see, well, beloved, I had a different kind of relationship with my audience. I think they loved me, and I sure returned the favor. It was all I ever wanted. You know you made me love you.
So now you got your teeth into Jolson. I suppose you're going to be reminding me of my days at MGM, or is it my record career, or is it going to be how bad I was to my first wife?
Of course. Now, what was her name?
You know damn well.
Ah, yes. Nancy.
Well, you may have heard the story, or maybe not. It was near to Christmas. In the glove compartment of our new car, I found a diamond bracelet. It was beautiful, but I didn't want to spoil Frank's surprise, so I put it back. I wasn't far wrong, though. I did see it again at Christmas.
Nancy, thank you so much for inviting me to such a wonderful party. The entire MGM A-list is out in force, and on Christmas Eve.
Well, thank you very much, but the party was Frank's idea. It's all a little too much for this simple Italian girl.
Hey, don't you talk that way. You're Mrs. Frank Sinatra, and don't you forget it.
Darling, aren't you something? Hey, and what's that?
Oh, my diamond bracelet? It was a present from a very intimate friend.
You bastard! He was the father of my children, and I loved him no matter what he said or did. There were 3 wives after me, but I always thought he'd come back. That was always a bed ready and waiting for him. He never used
Her
it.
name was Ruby Keeler. I was 41, and she was 18. Cute as a button then.
We were in a nightclub. I suppose I was flattered when he asked me to dance. But it was quite a few months before we met up again.
Ruby, I'm mad about you. Marry me.
Well, no more presents, and I'll think about it.
Well, let me help you to think fast. With just one more present.
And what's that?
$1 million. Yours before the wedding.
Al, I'm not the kind of girl who can be... Suppose I could adapt. Now, I was Mrs. Jolson. We sailed around Europe for a honeymoon. Big mistake. I discovered I'd married Mussolini.
What are you gonna do now?
I'm going to Hollywood.
She's going to Warner Brothers, and the movie's called 42nd Street. That, I suppose, was the real beginning of the end. I didn't help. I was stupid. I left Ruby and Sonny in L.A. I went off to New York to do a lot of radio shows. I was away too long, far too long. So that's how it was, Frank. The final curtain.
When I was at MGM, everybody knew Frank Sinatra. When this kid arrived in town, the name Ava Gardner meant absolutely nothing. Well, that was soon to change. She was the most incredible, stunning creature I had ever seen. Hey, baby, it's been a great night. I thought you were going to drink me under the table.
Some other time, Frank. It'll be no problem.
So where do you want to go now?
Francis, I don't mind. But be warned that I'm an old-fashioned girl who likes attention. And on her first date, a king size bed.
Sounds like you had it made, Frank.
No, I never did get the right breaks. I was hated by the press, dumped by MGM. My record sales went down like a one-way yo-yo.
But you had money.
Wrong again, Hal. Nancy's divorce lawyers took an arm, a leg, and several other parts of my anatomy.
What about Ava?
Ava? Well, she was doing great. I mean, MGM's little girl. That's when we started to row. Surprise you, buddy, but there were women who loved us.
Yeah, and audiences, too. You're sent from heaven, and I know your worth. You made a heaven for me here on earth. Then the angels grew lonely. They took you because they were lonely. Now I'm lonely too, Sonny boy. You know, Frank, that song made more money for me than a dozen of the others put together.
I'm proud of you, buddy.
And I'm proud of you, friend.
Get off.
They're demanding that we call a woman to speak up on your behalf. A woman who cared for you both. Not for
Who we were?
But for what we were.
one woman.
Ah, we're finished.
End of the road, angels.
Hey, what do we think of that? Judy!
I thought you'd never work it out.
Hey,
Frank? Acer, are you
Judy!
two okay?
Judy, we need you to plead for us. Dig deep and find something good to say in our defense.
Yeah, without you, kid, we're down.
I'm gonna tell you a story. Which, okay, might sound like a saccharine MGM weepy, heavy on syrup and corn, but it's true nonetheless. Every day, Frank would go through the papers and pick out stories that moved him. A child in need of an operation, someone who couldn't afford their medical bills, or even a little girl who'd lost her puppy. Yeah, I told you it sounded like corn, but this was for real. No one ever knew who their benefactor was. No cameras or reporters in attendance. Frank just did what he felt was right. He got involved. He changed lives. He saved lives. And I love him for it. And what about Al? Just how many friends he bailed out of the Wall Street crash is nobody's business. And during World War II, he performed everywhere from the cold wastes of Alaska to the steaming forests of Asia, and he never took a dime from Uncle Sam. And the GIs loved him for it.
Hey, well, beloved, just remember one thing.
We ain't no angels.
My kind of town, Chicago is. My kind of town, Chicago is. Chicago, Chicago, you're my kind of town. Chicago. And when it's sleeping time, we start to swing. Our clocks don't chime, and they ring, a ding ding, Happy New Year.
Just repeat one, listen.
And my